Please subscribe and like the video before continuing. Although we are most familiar with him as New York Police Commissioner Frank Reagan, American actor Tom Selleck had a. Before landing the role of the Reagan family's patriarch, Tom Selleck rose to fame in the 1980s for his portrayal of Thomas Magnum in the popular TV series Magnum P.I., which won him numerous prestigious awards during its run. Did you know that the actor would have played two other iconic roles? Have you heard what the actor had to say about Blue Bloods ending despite its successful run? If you're interested in learning more about the actor and the answers to these questions, you should first look at how it all started. The actor was born Thomas William Cecil on January 29, 194–45, in Detroit, Michigan, to Martha and Robert Dean Selleck. His mother was a homemaker, and his father was an executive real estate investor. Although the actor was born in Michigan, the lovely couple moved to Sherman Oaks, California, 3 years later in 1946, where he grew up. The future actor attended Grant High School, and after graduating, he decided to leave home and save money by enrolling at Los Angeles Valley College. Cecil was already a towering 6 feet 4 inches icon during his adolescent years, so he chose to take advantage of it by transferring and playing for the University of Southern California's Trojan men's basketball team during his junior year. But that's not all there is to our guy. Tom Selleck was pretty sporty in his younger years because aside from playing basketball he also served as not only the pitcher but also the designated hitter for the university's baseball team. He was quite the all-around guy, seeing as he was also a frat member of Sigma Chi and a member of the Trojan Knights. Despite all these extracurricular activities, Selleck didn't develop a special affinity toward them. It wasn't until his drama coach suggested that he try his hand at acting. During that time, Tom Selleck was pursuing a degree in business administration at the university, but he dropped it during his senior year to pursue acting full-time. Selleck decided to enroll at the famed Beverly Hills Playhouse and was under the tutelage of Greek director and producer Milton Katsilas. While there he learned the ropes of acting, polishing his skills that proved to be useful later on. He would have gone ahead and made a break for the acting industry, but he had to stop when he received a draft notice during the Vietnam War. Like every American, Tom Selleck answered the call and joined the National Coast Guard, where he served in the 160th Infantry Regiment for 6 years from 1967 to 1973. In the last 2 years of his service as a college senior in 1965 and 1967, Tom Selleck began his career by landing a number of small roles in the American game show The Dating Game. From there, he landed a few commercial and modeling gigs. At one point, he even became the face of Salem Cigarettes and one of Revlon's colleagues. The demand for the actor was pretty high back then, which doesn't really surprise us given how charismatic he was. The actor continued to take on more roles, such as the 1971 commercial for Right Guard Da. After being invited to the set of the American comedy Myra Breen Ridge by the multifaceted icon Mae West, Tom Selleck went on to play a number of small roles in other films, including the drama The 7 Minutes in 1971, a recurring role as a private investigator in The Rockford Files in the 1970s, and the American mystery thriller Coma in 1978. His first major role came in the horror film Daughters of Satan in 1972 as the American Museum curator James Robertson. Tom Selleck also had his share of playing cowboy roles, which came naturally to him as a passionate outdoor enthusiast, marksman, and gun collector. He appeared in 5 Western films, including The Sackets, Concrete Cowboys, The Shadow Riders, Quickly Down Under, and Last Stand at Sabre River, for which he received the Western Heritage Award in 1997 for his performance. He played everything from supporting to small talking to the lead. Tom Selleck has a pretty impressive acting resume, but it wasn't until he was cast as Thomas Magnum that he became well known. He beat the odds and was selected to play the lead role in the series immediately after filming 6 other TV pilots that sat on the shelf. If you don't know who Thomas Magnum is, he's not your typical detective. He was a former Navy SEAL who served in the Vietnam War. He traded everything for a Ferrari 308 GTS and a Hawaiian shirt to embrace his life as a private investigator in a sunny paradise. His military uniforms are gone, but his sharp mind has remained the same, using it in conjunction with military tactics to solve crimes while sporting his iconic mustache and Detroit Tigers cap. Magnum P.I. had a fairly successful 8-year run, and by the time it ended in 1988, it was already praised as one of the best-rated one-hour programs in repeat history, demonstrating its ongoing appeal. Years later, Tom Selleck disclosed that if he had his way, the Magnum movie would have continued where the series left off, meaning that Magnum would have rejoined the Navy and developed into a good officer. This was prior to the Magnum P.I. reboot, and he recalled that he had been waiting to see if any producers were interested in making a Magnum film. He recalled that none of them had contacted him or called to express disappointment because he was more than happy to assist them with it. I assume they'd recast him and he'd be a 17-year-old pubescent youth, but a good movie shouldn't be a reunion show where everyone sees how old everyone is. Instead, it should inform you of what has happened. Selleck stated that in addition to playing Thomas Magnum and Frank Reagan, Selleck was notable at the time for his portrayal of Richard Burke, Monica's charming but complicated older boyfriend in the 1990s hit sitcom Friends. In the second season of the show, Selleck played a divorced ophthalmologist and a friend of Monica's parents, emphasizing the age difference between the two while also emphasizing their undying connection and our dynamic due to their age. The gap: he was only in it for 6 episodes, and Tom Selleck's agents advised against him joining the sitcom, but it worked out well because the actor received an Emmy nomination for Outstanding Guest Actor in a Comedy Series in 2000 for his portrayal of Richard, proving that he's a versatile actor who could take on any role. Richard and Monica kept their relationship a secret, but ultimately they didn't end up together because of his reluctance to have children, which left a lasting impression. Genre: whether it be comedy or action drama. In 2005, he played transplanted police officer Jesse Stone in a television series that, based on Robert B. Parker's novels, the television series aired for 9 installments, with Parker serving as both the show's producer in the 5th edition and its main actor. The actor Jesse Stone Thin Ice demonstrated his writing abilities by creating an original story that the fans loved. In 2007, he made a triumphant comeback to TV drama when he joined the cast of the NBC drama Las Vegas in its 5th season. He played A.J. Cooper, the new owner of the Montecito Casino, which also served as his first regular drama role because the actor's performance as Thomas Magnum was as outstanding as ever and he was able to fill the void left by James Caa, who left the show in the same episode. As handsome as he is, it should come as no surprise that Tom Selleck was a huge heartthrob in his younger years, albeit he remains charming in his later years. In 1971, the dashing actor married an equally stunning woman, former American model and actress Jacqueline Ray. This was Selleck's first marriage, and he also adopted her son, Kevin Tonick, who later became the drummer for the American rock group Tonick. The actors' first marriage lasted for about 11 years before they divorced in 1982. It didn't take long for Tom Selleck to fall in love again, and he found himself waiting at the altar when his second wife, Jilly Joan Mack, was married on August 7, 1987. Together, they have a daughter named Hannah, who was born on December 16, 1988. What else is there to know about the actor? You'd be surprised to learn about his wide range of interests and his feelings regarding the conclusion of his popular TV show Blue Bloods. Tom Selleck is a man of many interests, which is evident even in his younger years. In college he was a member of the basketball and baseball teams, and as we mentioned earlier, he's an avid outdoorsman. Some other sports he likes are indoor and beach volleyball, and he even played as the outside hitter for the Outrigger Canoe Club in Honolulu. He was such a key player that Dennis Berg, one of his teammates back when he was still active, couldn't help but gush about him in an interview with Volleyball USA. Back in 2011, according to Berg, the actor was a great teammate despite being busy filming Magnum P.I. At the time, Berg added that Selleck appreciated being included in such a talented group, which is why he diligently practiced and played hard. In addition to that, Tom Selleck was also patient with everyone, enjoying the massive crowds at national tournaments, which is a stark contrast to the actor's usual smaller gatherings that consist of friends and family. Another sport that he greatly enjoys is ice hockey. He attends games when he has the chance and is regularly seen attending Los Angeles Kings games at Staples Center in downtown LA. Playing baseball wasn't enough for him back in college, so when he had the funds, he bought and became a minority owner of his favorite team since childhood, the Detroit Tigers. Being a minority owner came in handy when Tom Selleck was cast in the 1992 movie Mr. Baseball to train for the role. He reached out to the team and got the chance to train with them. During spring training, the actor immersed himself in the role and spent 3 weeks participating in batting practice and even making an exhibition appearance against the Cincinnati Reds during the game. The Detroit Tigers then-manager Sparky Anderson made a surprise decision and called Selleck to be their pinch hitter, and even though he struck out after fouling off 3 pitches, what he gained that day was an invaluable experience. Not only did it enhance his performance in the film, but it also provided him with a deeper understanding of professional baseball. This immersive training experience undoubtedly shaped his portrayal of a seasoned baseball player in Mr. Baseball. This American actor already cemented his career as Thomas Magnum and Frank Reagan, but did you know Tom Selleck also almost portrayed an iconic character if only the producers of Magnum P.I. allowed him to take on other projects? For those of you who don't know, when George Lucas was given the opportunity to play the witty and sardonic adventurer Indiana Jones, Tom Selleck was actually his first choice. Harrison Ford ultimately won the part, and the rest is history, but at least both men went on to become iconic individuals in their own right. The intriguing aspect of the entire situation was that writers' strikes caused Magnum P.I.'s filming to be delayed for more than 6 months. Had he played Indiana Jones, he would have finished filming by the time the series was set to begin, but that's just the way life goes. Fortunately for Tom Selleck, he was able to play Thomas Magnum for 8 seasons. Look, I struck a deal with Magnum, and it was the best thing that ever happened to me. In an interview with Build Series back in 2017, Selleck acknowledged that I'm proud that I fulfilled my contract. Some people said that you have to get into a car, crash into a brick wall, get hurt, get out of Magnum, and play Raiders. I replied that I had to look my parents in the eye, and we don't do that, so I played Magnum. That's not so bad, is it? What's even more intriguing, though? Apart from the adventurous Indiana Jones, Tom Selleck was offered other classic roles, and if he had chosen to play Indiana Jones, his career would have taken a different turn. Tom Selleck was also given the lead part of Mitch Banan in the hit television show Baywatch, but he declined, claiming he didn't want to be perceived as a sex symbol. In the end, David Hasselhoff was cast in the part. As we all know by now, Tom Selleck is not only a man who is committed to his work but also considerate of those around him. His qualities were acknowledged, and he was awarded numerous honors and recognitions, including an honorary doctorate from Peppine University in 200000 and active promotion of ethical values through his work with the Joseph and Edna Josephson Institute of Ethics. Tom Selleck is also the recipient of numerous honors, including his own star on the Hollywood Walk of Fame in 1986 and the American Academy of Achievement's Golden Plate Award in 1989. Who would have imagined that the actor portraying the New York police commissioner would truly run afoul of the law rather than us, but it was due to water issues rather than malicious intent. Yes, you read correctly. The Calais Municipal Water District sued the actor in 2015 during the worst drought on record, alleging that he had transferred more than 1.4 million gallons of water from their district to the Hidden Valley District to irrigate his avocado farm. Although he did not acknowledge any wrongdoing, the case was settled with a payment of $21,685.55 to the Calais District to cover their investigation costs. At least it wasn't related to violence, so we can't really blame the man for maintaining his own farm. Even though Tom Selleck is becoming older and graying, he still has the energy to play Frank Reagan in Blue Bloods. In fact, he could have played the role for many more years, but regrettably, everything must come to an end. It has been an honor and a privilege to work on a show that not only honors the men and women who protect and serve in New York City but also demonstrates the value of family. The first part of the show is already airing this February and is sure to wrap up with a bang, but not before he expressed his heartfelt feelings for the show and its fans. Working with these amazing actors, writers, producers, directors, and crew has been a dream come true, and I'm thankful to have been a part of this remarkable ensemble for more than 275 episodes, the actor said in a statement when the series' conclusion was revealed. In an interview with TV Inside Eider, we express our sincere gratitude to the fans who joined us for dinner every Friday night and thank CBS Studios and the CBS network for their unwavering support. Tom Selleck opened out about his feelings regarding the show and what he was most proud of. According to Selleck, he takes delight in playing a strong but flawed parent on TV and in ads where the idiot is typically the father. Selleck tells TV Insider, "It's not my mission on the show, but the byproduct is an example of an important patriarch to the family that's getting rarer in our culture." Hearing him say this about Blue Bloods, we can't help but remember how 13 years ago he still couldn't wrap his head around portraying a non-nonsense police commissioner. In an interview with Weekend Entertainment back in 2010, Selleck said that he found the role challenging, especially since he had to portray someone much older compared to his role as Magnum back then. His portrayal as Frank Reagan aside, one other thing that he believes contributed to the success is the Reagan family's weekly dinner. Tom Selleck says that it's their viewers' favorite part of the show. At first he was surprised to see that the whole dinner scene consisted of 8 pages. When Leonard Goldberg, the show's executive producer, showed it to him, seeing how it was long, the actor thought that they would cut it, but to his surprise, Goldberg said that the dinner scene would serve as the centerpiece of the show, and man, he was right about that. Despite taking on the role of Frank Reagan for the last 13 years, Tom Selleck is nowhere near ready to say goodbye to Blue Bloods. He revealed to TV Insider that the network CBS will soon find out how many people actually love Blue Bloods, and that many of them aren't ready to say goodbye to the show as well. For one, the actor believes that Blue Bloods is more popular than ever, and he has a firm belief that the number of viewers will only continue to increase, and most importantly, they still have more ideas on the bag. When asked if he was ready to settle at his Ventura, the actor from California ranch wasn't very eager to lead a leisurely life as far as when it comes to acting. Selleck acknowledges that he loves his job, even though he acknowledges that now that he's older, it's a little more difficult. He expresses his sincere desire to keep work for as long as they requested it. This is hardly shocking because even he claims that Frank, his persona, isn't prepared to leave the show. He chooses quarrels because he wants someone to bear the burden of this obligation. Take him off his hands and fire him, says Selleck. Regarding his personality, although he has a excessively strong feeling of duty and despite Tom Selleck, he is stuck with it. Stated that he is still prepared to keep working in the sector for a number of insiders reveal what the actor intends to carry out now that he is retired. Approaching the horizon, as per the actor might hang up his badge, according to insiders, soon, and exchange it with a more peaceful life in California on his avocado ranch. In order for him to spend more time with his "we wouldn't hold it against him" dear wife Jilly. If, after all, he decided to do this, the 65-acre property might be quite large. Of employment situated in Thousand Oaks. It was thought that the Westlake Village area, that well-known American singer and icon Dean, it was previously owned by Martin. Having a lot of properties is rather typical if you're a famous person in Hollywood, but Tom Selleck is incredibly fond of our ranch and has nothing except positive things to say about it, as demonstrated in his TUN2 interview with People. So I enjoy working outside. Throughout the ranch, from road repair to brush cleaning. I detest going to the gym. Sweating outside is definitely preferable to sitting staring at my navel while riding a stationary bike. And I work for less money than anyone else employ to carry out the task. In response to his rumors, the insider's retirement plans also revealed that Tom Selleck has already begun looking eager to spend more time outside on his ranch and making more time for spending time with his daughter Hannah and wife, the latter of which has achieved success. 35-year-old equestrian. Currently, in addition to that, we're eagerly anticipating his upcoming book that will be published on titled You Never Know, May 7th. In the actor takes readers on a stroll in the book throughout his life, from his California origins and college years launched to fame. In it, he not only honors his successes while simultaneously discussing the difficulties and temptations along the way. He encountered fans who are already I am eager to read his memoir. Because the book promises to make everything plain. Preconceptions in addition to surprising them. Includes numerous unrecorded tales, both intimate and experts in addition to readers. We'll also explore the development of his recognizable magnum figure and learn about his friendships in real life with renowned celebrities such as Carol Burnett and Frank Sinatra, as well as Sam Elliott, but in the meanwhile we could still really anticipate seeing the first. A segment from the final season of Blue BLS on CBS. Consequently, we are concluding today's video pertaining to the life and times of Tom Selleck, an American actor. Here is a long, continuous, big news style story with no numbering and no blank line spacing, written as one flowing piece. The sad reason Tom Selleck is saying goodbye has sent a wave of shock and emotion rippling through fans who have admired the Hollywood icon for decades, and as details quietly emerge, the truth behind his decision reveals a far deeper and more personal struggle than anyone expected. For years Tom Selleck has been the steady heartbeat of American television, a symbol of classic charm, old-school humility, and unwavering professionalism, whether he was sporting the iconic Hawaiian shirts of Magnum P.I. or embodying the stoic strength of Commissioner Frank Reagan on Blue Bloods. Yet behind the scenes, time has been catching up with the beloved star in ways he has worked hard to hide from the public eye. Sources close to the actor describe a man who has spent the last few years pushing himself far harder than most realized, balancing age, health concerns, family responsibilities, and the emotional weight of a career that never truly slowed down, even as he entered his late 70s. His recent statements about stepping away from the spotlight are not rooted in fading passion or a lack of opportunity but in something far more human, the understanding that life's most precious moments are slipping by faster than he can catch them. Tom Selleck has always guarded his private life fiercely, choosing a ranch in California over Hollywood parties, horses, and quiet sunsets over the noise of fame, and genuine relationships over superficial headlines. But it is that sanctuary, the ranch he lovingly restored and protected for decades, that has become a stark reminder of how much he has sacrificed for the industry that made him a household name. Maintaining the sprawling property, caring for aging horses, and keeping up with the physical demands of ranch life have grown more challenging, and friends say Selleck has begun to feel the strain in ways he can no longer brush aside. Even more heartbreaking, insiders say Selleck has been quietly battling persistent mobility issues and bouts of chronic pain that make long shooting days far more difficult than the audience ever sees on screen. He has always been the type to shrug off discomfort, to tell people he's just fine, to show up on set no matter how early the call time, but pushing through for years has taken its toll. The actor, known for his stoic resilience, has reportedly reached a point where he must choose between continuing to endure the physical demands of television or preserving the health he still has so he can enjoy whatever time he has left with his family. His daughter Hannah, now grown and deeply involved in equestrian sports, has urged her father to slow down before he injures himself permanently. His wife Jilly, his steadfast partner for more than 35 years, has long encouraged him to consider retirement not as a retreat but as an opportunity to finally live life on his own terms after a career built on schedules, scripts, and the expectations of millions. But perhaps the most heartbreaking element in his goodbye is not his health, nor his age, nor even the emotional strain of leaving behind characters and fans who adore him. It is the realization that time, the one thing even a Hollywood legend cannot control, has become impossible to ignore. Those closest to Selleck say he has grown deeply reflective over the past year, thinking often about legacy, family, and the fleeting nature of a career that has defined him for more than 4 decades. He knows he has given everything to his craft, and he fears continuing at the pace television demands may rob him of the quiet years he still hopes to enjoy. When he finally decided to break his silence, his words carried a weight that stunned longtime viewers. He admitted that stepping away was not easy, nor was it something he wanted to do, but something he needed to do, an acknowledgement that even legends must eventually listen to the quiet signals that life sends. Crew members who have worked with him for years describe a man who always arrived early, always shook every hand, always thanked every person on set, yet recently has struggled with long hours, long walks across location sets, and the physical intensity required for action-heavy scenes. Still, he never complained, never let anyone treat him differently, and insisted on performing as much of his own physical acting as possible. But the day came when he realized that continuing to push through pain would no longer serve him, his co-workers, or the standard of excellence he demands of himself. His decision leaves behind a legacy that few actors will ever match. Tom Selleck's career has spanned generations, crossing from the classic heroism of 1980s television to the emotionally grounded storytelling of modern network drama, all while maintaining the status of a beloved family man, a loyal friend, and a deeply respected figure within the industry. Fans have flooded social media with messages of gratitude, heartbreak, and support, reflecting on how his characters shaped their childhoods, comforted them during difficult times, or provided the stability of a familiar face in an ever-changing TV landscape. While many hoped he would continue for years to come, the sadness of his goodbye is softened only by the understanding that he is choosing what is best for himself and his family, something he has every right, after so many years of giving, to finally prioritize. What happens next for Tom Selleck may not involve cameras, scripts, or studios, but those closest to him say he is looking forward to something far more meaningful: mornings on the ranch without a schedule to follow, riding his horses at his own pace, watching the sun rise without worrying about memorizing lines, savoring dinners with his family without needing to rush back to set, and rediscovering the simple joys he has postponed for the sake of a decades-long career. The sad reason he is saying goodbye is not a scandal, not a controversy, not a Hollywood feud, but something far more universal: the desire to reclaim time, protect his health, and embrace a quieter life while he still can. He may be stepping away from the screen, but his legacy will remain imprinted forever in the hearts of millions, his characters will continue to live on in endless reruns, and his influence on television will echo for generations. And while fans may feel the sting of loss, the world also knows this truth: Tom Selleck has earned his rest, his peace, and his chance to write the final chapter of his life exactly the way he wants, quietly, gracefully, and surrounded by the people and the place he loves most. Here is your big news style story, written as one continuous paragraph with no numbering and no blank line spacing, up to long-form length. Blue Bloods. Tom Selleck's revelation involving his wife Jilly, 66, will leave you stunned as the beloved actor finally opens up about a deeply personal truth he has guarded for decades, a truth that reshapes everything fans thought they knew about his quiet, private life behind the Hollywood spotlight. For years, Selleck and Jilly Mack have been regarded as one of the industry's most enduring and quietly successful couples, their marriage built far away from the chaos of red carpets and celebrity gossip, protected by the privacy of their California ranch. But in a rare moment of vulnerability, the 80-year-old icon has revealed the emotional reality that shaped their relationship and influenced some of the biggest decisions of his career. According to those closest to him, this revelation did not come easily, nor was it shared for publicity. Instead, it emerged as Selleck reflected more deeply on life, aging, marriage, and the sacrifices Jilly made for him long before the world ever knew. He admitted that the only reason his decades-long career survived the pressure, the long shooting days, and the emotional drain of constant public attention was because Jilly quietly carried burdens most people never saw, giving up opportunities, dreams, and parts of her own identity so that he could continue to thrive in Hollywood. But what stunned fans even more was Selleck's confession that years ago Jilly had nearly walked away from their marriage, not because of betrayal or scandal, but because she feared that the demands of his career were slowly consuming the life they had promised to build together. She struggled watching him return home exhausted, physically drained, emotionally distant, and increasingly defined by the characters he played rather than the man she married. The revelation that their marriage once reached a breaking point has shocked longtime viewers who saw only the polished exterior of a strong, stable partnership. Selleck confessed that he had become so absorbed in maintaining his image, honoring contracts, and ensuring his shows succeeded that he failed to see how much Jilly was hurting behind closed doors. Her increasing loneliness, her sacrifice of her own acting career, and her role raising their daughter Hannah often left her feeling invisible in the shadow of his fame. It was during the height of his early success, long before Blue Bloods, that Jilly confronted him with a choice that forced him to reevaluate everything. She asked him whether he wanted a Hollywood legacy or a real marriage and made it clear she would not continue living in a world where she felt like a supporting character in her own life. The admission shook Selleck to his core, and for the first time he realized that the career he treasured was endangering the very person who gave him strength. His response to this crisis became the turning point that saved their marriage. Selleck revealed that this was the true reason he walked away from major film offers, retreated from the Hollywood scene, and bought the California ranch that became the heartbeat of their family. He chose Jilly, not fame, not money, not the spotlight, because he knew that without her, none of it mattered. This decision would shape the next 4 decades of his life, allowing him to return to television only when he felt confident that his work wouldn't destroy the peace they fought to rebuild. Even now, fans are stunned to learn that the very foundation of Selleck's longevity in Hollywood rests not on talent or luck but on the unwavering emotional labor and quiet sacrifices of the woman he married. Jilly, now 66, continues to be his anchor, the one person who sees beyond the roles and into the heart of the man the world admires. Selleck's revelation has opened a new dialogue about love, sacrifice, and the unseen struggles that even the strongest couples endure. He credits Jilly not just with holding their marriage together but with preserving his sanity and grounding him in a life that fame alone could never provide. He acknowledged that if she had walked away all those years ago, he likely would have burned out, spiraled under Hollywood pressure, and lost everything that truly mattered. Today, as he reflects on aging, legacy, and the possibility of stepping back from acting, he says Jilly is the reason he chooses peace over ambition and presence over performance. What leaves fans most moved is his willingness to admit that behind every success he has celebrated stands a woman who chose love over recognition, family over fame, and sacrifice over comfort. His revelation is not just a tribute to Jilly but a reminder that even the strongest icons carry private battles, and that sometimes the most powerful stories are not the ones played out on camera but the ones lived behind closed doors with the people we love most. Here is your big news style story, written as one continuous paragraph with no numbering and no blank line spacing, long form and flowing like a full-feature article. Tom Selleck's life and career in photos is more than a nostalgic walk through Hollywood history. It is a sweeping visual journey through the evolution of a man who became one of America's most recognizable faces, a journey marked by charisma, resilience, quiet wisdom, and a relentless commitment to authenticity that shaped every stage of his remarkable life. Each photograph, from the earliest black and white snapshots of a tall, shy California boy to the polished portraits of an established Hollywood icon, tells a story far deeper than the roles he played. Born in Detroit before moving west with his family, the young Tom Selleck never imagined he would one day become an international symbol of rugged charm, yet the early images of him as a college basketball player already reveal the effortless magnetism and natural presence that would later define his screen roles. The photos of Selleck in his early acting years show a man determined to break through despite constant rejection, wearing the same hopeful smile despite casting agents calling him too tall, too serious, or too mature for leading man roles. Little did they know those qualities would become the trademarks that set him apart. When Magnum P.I. burst onto television screens in 1980, the now iconic images of Selleck in Hawaiian shirts, aviator sunglasses, and that signature mustache became cultural symbols that transcended the series itself. Behind those photos, however, was a man working 12-hour days on a physically demanding show filmed in the tropical heat, balancing humor, action, and heart while quietly shaping a character that would inspire generations. The images from the height of his Magnum fame show him smiling on red carpets, posing with adoring fans, and accepting awards with humility, yet what fans rarely saw were the quieter photos, Tom relaxing on his Hawaii porch, reading scripts, or visiting local communities, that reveal how deeply he respected the place and the people who welcomed him. As his career expanded beyond Magnum, still photos captured every unexpected turn, his dramatic roles in films like 3 Men and a Baby, his Western transformations in Quigley Down Under, his comedic surprises on Friends, and his mature gravitas in Blue Bloods, where photos of him sitting at the Reagan family dinner table became some of the series' most enduring images. But his life behind the camera tells an equally powerful visual story. Photos from his secret 1987 wedding to Gilly Mack, taken far from Hollywood's flashing lights, show a man who valued privacy and love over spectacle. Their later family photos, especially those taken on his sprawling California ranch, reveal a softer, gentler Selleck, raising horses with his daughter Hannah, fixing fences, tending avocado fields, and insisting that real life happens here, not in front of cameras. These ranch photos form some of the most intimate chapters of his story, depicting a man who turned away from the relentless pace of fame to protect the simple, authentic life he wanted for his family. Even the aging photos, Tom in his 60s, 70s, and now 80s, carry the same quiet strength and dignified presence that defined his youth. Instead of hiding from the camera as he grew older, he embraced it with grace, letting each photograph become a portrait of a life lived with integrity. The later images from the set of Blue Bloods show him surrounded by castmates who speak of him as a mentor, a leader, and a father figure, his calm posture and thoughtful gaze embodying the wisdom accumulated over decades in the industry. What makes this visual journey extraordinary is not the fame, the fashion, or the roles, but the story that unfolds between the photos, the evolution of a man who built a career without sacrificing his principles, who turned down roles that compromised his values, who walked away from Hollywood at the height of success to prioritize family, who fought through injuries and exhaustion to deliver performances fans would never forget, and who remained grounded in a world famous for lifting people up only to watch them fall. In every chapter, every decade, every captured moment, Selleck's photos reflect a rare combination of humility and star quality, reminding the world that true greatness is not measured by headlines or awards but by the consistency of character across years of change. His life in photos is not just a celebration of an actor, it is a tribute to a man who became a cultural icon while still remaining deeply, quietly human. Through these images we see a full portrait of Tom Selleck, the athlete, the actor, the husband, the father, the rancher, the mentor, the legend, each frame revealing another layer of a man who gave audiences not just entertainment but a standard of dignity and authenticity rarely found in Hollywood today.